Hey, grade 9. This is the video for Gathering Blue novel study, and I'm just going to go over the first 6 chapters with you, and then I'll do another one, probably 6 chapters in again, and maybe by the time we're done, we'll have about 4 videos for Gathering Blue since there's 23 chapters, but we'll see what the length of the chapters are and whether or not it warrants an extra video or anything like that. I hope you've been paying attention to the discussions in class for possible project ideas. So please keep that in mind as well. So I'm going to share the screen. You can pause at any time, and if you are missing any of these summaries, and if you need some clarification on anything, please let me know. Okay, so let's share the screen here, and there we go. Okay. So Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry. It's a sequel to The Giver. The next book is Messenger and then Sun. Okay. So we have our characters here. I'm not going to go over them again in this video, but you could take a look at the characters here as they're described. Just keep in mind the main character is Kira, and she is the protagonist. And we do get a description of the post-apocalyptic society of what happened prior, and that's in the Ruin song with the that the singer will be presenting in the fall or the autumn. And so we do find out that she is physically challenged, and that separates her from the rest of the community. We do find out that she is a talented weaver, and this will be the key to her survival in this community. Jameson is part of the Council of the Guardians, and it becomes her advocate. And so we do get a little heads up that he was around, or he was aware of what happened to Kira's dad. So we'll find out when that is revealed as the novel progresses. Matt is the best friend there. Christopher is Kira's dad. And then we have Thomas, who is the carver. And Annabella is one of the elders in the village, and she has a 4-syllable word name. And we've talked about the importance of the syllables. You have a 1-syllable name when you're born, and then you get a 2nd syllable, and then 3rd syllable, and then a 4th syllable. And it is rare to have a person still alive and with 4 syllables. So please take note of that. And Vendera is your antagonist, and so just keep an eye on her as she tries to ruin Kira and what her role will be in the village. Katrina's the mother, of course. So instead of the community that's mentioned in The Giver, we have the village, and just keep that in mind. But there are some similarities between the community and the village, just different ways of approaching. And I do think when mother and the giver, when Lily was talking about the behavior of some of their guests that came to visit the community, makes me wonder if she was referring to people from the village, even though she said other communities. So it makes you wonder about that one. So we'll see if that is the case later on. The color blue is going to be a key symbol in this novel. So just a heads up there. I'm not going to talk about the end yet, but you can certainly take a look at that yourself. So I'm not going to go over every single chapter. I'm just going to scroll through, but just highlight some key points here. We do have a ritual where if a person passes away, the closest family member will attend to that person for 4 days as they're sent to the field, as we call it, the field of leaving. And so Then after that, they can move on with their life. Fear is a big contributor to the livelihoods of these people. They live in fear all the time because they don't know if they're going to survive, for one thing. Are they going to be attacked by the beasts, as we were mentioned there, and whether or not they be sent to the fields. So lots of different things that are going on there. We have the term draggers may come, and those are people who will take certain individuals out of the village and send them out to the field. And we do have one that wants Kira out of the community, or the village, and that's Vandara. So chapter 2, we get into the accusations made by Vandara that Kira's going to go face trial, so to speak, in front of the Council of the Guardians, and Vandara wants Kira out so she can take the land and all her belongings. And so that leads us into chapter 3. But we do get a brief introduction to Kira's abilities, very similar to Jonas in The Giver, and it's she just knows how to do things right off the bat, and so it's very similar to Jonas's Seeing Beyond. In chapter 3, we do have the meeting with the Council of the Guardians. There is one building in this whole village that is in pristine order or condition, and that's the council edifice. And so it's very interesting. That building is kept up really well, but the rest of the village is in tatters, and people are living in sheds and things like that. So we have a description of what the Ruin Song's about. It's a history of the village before the destruction, and then of course afterwards. And so you may want to do your own Ruin Song for a project idea, but more about your heritage, maybe, or your history. And this quote here: "Take pride in your pain. You are stronger than those who have none." Very important quote, as it promotes resiliency and perseverance, and we all need to strive for that. So Kira gets herself ready to meet with the council. Vandara does not get herself ready, and it's going to be a battle of, who's going to side with who, and we'll see what happens in during that trial. We do have some more information about the bylaws or laws of the village, and Kira is she doesn't know why she's there, but well, she knows why she's there because Vandara has sent her to the Council of Guardians. But why is Vandara against her? Like, what? She has done nothing to Vandara. So we have Jameson, who advocates for Kira, and but we have to, Jameson has to go through every accusation, and in a way he's kind of poking holes in these accusations, but based on the perception of Vandara, is like, good. He's affirming those accusations, but at the same time, he is countering with a reason as to why Kira should stay in the community. But Vandara's not aware of that plan or ploy, whichever one you need to do that. But Vandara's trying to say Kira should have been gone from the day she was born, but the key point here is it need not always be the way. So there is room for exceptions as to why people should stay in the village or not. Kira's been asked twice and eventually 3 times to speak, but she declines. So the big question is, should she speak if she's asked again? And the answer would be yes, she would have to speak. If she doesn't speak, then she could forfeit any chance of having any say in the eventual decision of whether she stays or she goes. Keep an eye on Matt there, her friend, and also the emphasis on blue, the color blue, and then this scrap of cloth that she is holding on to. And I've asked the question, do you have an item that you kind of hold on to draw strength from, like this hockey puck, for example. Like this could be something that I could channel my fears and uncertainties into, and it goes all into here, and then I can go ahead and do what I need to do. So the same thing's happening with this cloth here. Chapter 5, we have a box that's been placed on the counter or table. Inside of it, it's a singer's robe, and this is the key to Kira's chance to stay in the community, and she becomes the new caretaker of this robe. She's going to fix it up and even add to it, and then it'll be on display in the autumn presentation. And there's a lot of emphasis on dyes, like different colors and things like that, and so Kira's going to be learning this new trade. She has an idea on it, but she has to seek help, and she will be looking for a person named Annabella, a 4-syllable person, and carry on her mother's legacy. Vandera did not like the verdict that she gets to stay, and she will say she's already threatened that Kira is going to fail. So now that Kira's resolve is, I'm not going to fail. She's going to prove wrong. And in chapter 6, we find out that she's moving into the council edifice here, and she has her own place, and it's way better than a shed, better than what she and her mother had, and she's going to be the new weaver. So Kira the Weaver is her new title. And and she also meets Thomas the Carver around the same age as Kira, but it's very important that she knows she's not alone in this new chapter in her life. So this is where we're at for chapters 1 to 6, and hopefully that makes sense to you. If there's any questions, please let me know. But I'm hoping you're making some correlations and connections to the giver as well. And then, of course, some things that we as individuals experience too when it comes to uncertainty and how do we persevere? How do we achieve resiliency? Okay, so that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Be safe.